Shanti. I thought we'd begin this video with a basic background to the Brahmakumaris and how it originally started, was initiated, and basically go over the first lesson of our introductory course and also a meditation to finish off with. So it goes back to 1937 when a man named Dada Lakraj had a vision, and the vision was of his uncle leaving his body, or in the terminology that we know so well, his uncle was dying, and he saw a point of light come from the centre of the forehead. All the energies of the body went into this point at the centre of the forehead, and the soul left the body. And from that point, Dada Lakraj, who was a multimillionaire, kind of realised, or a semi-realisation, that we're all souls in bodies playing roles, basically. And he practiced for months on end, incessantly, of being the peaceful soul using matter, separate to matter. And just like this body was a costume that he was wearing, and he practiced feeling himself as a tiny point of light. And from that, there's a long drawn-out story behind that, but from that, Dada Lakraj had several revelations and realisations, and applied all his money into what we call the Brahmakumaris World Spiritual University. And it goes back really, I mean, when you actually think about it, when we go back to our childhood, when we've not really got an identity as such, we're just children, very innocent, and we're not really evolving as a male or a female or a white person or a black person, and our culture is of very little importance to us at that time. All that really is important is that we've got love and we've got food, because really love, food and shelter, what does any other child need really? Once you've got that good kickstart off in life, then there's the feeling of, wow, is this what life's going to be like from here on out? But of course you've got basically a world full of people really which have an identity crisis, because a song that I remember, I won't sing it for you, but a song that I remember when I was a kid was called The Logical Song, and it was a song which when all the world's asleep, the questions run so deep, won't you please tell me who I am? And in that song the little boy, he says, when I was young it seemed that life was so wonderful, beautiful, magical, and the birds in the trees, they were singing so joyfully. And then they took me away, taught me how to be logical, intellectual, cynical, a vegetable. And it's basically a boy that's evolving into a world of success stories, and if you don't achieve that, then you're not scoring brownie points, and you're not getting much in the form of credit. So you're not seen as a particular important person, and only if you pass this exam and pass that exam and achieve this in life have you, or are you, a success story. And going back to the bare bones, who you are as a child, and really who you'll ever be as a child, is the one that just needs a little bit of shelter and food for their bodies, and a lot of love. To give love and to receive love is the ideal lifestyle that everyone should have. And you can have, a quite happy child really, and all of a sudden they're taken away to this world of success stories where other things are more important, so obviously that gets imported into the consciousness of how important those things are. And you mustn't let the family down, and no one's got a manual for being a good parent and a good brother, a good sister. No one's writing everything down, who did what for who and how much someone did for you and so on. It would be lovely if there was that return to love. So that's what I feel that the first lesson is all about, really. It's about disconnecting from the consciousness of the body so that you're actually beginning to live as a soul, a very subtle being of light at the centre of the forehead. The eyes are my windows. I'm speaking to you now from behind the face. I'm listening through these ears, but I'm not the ears. I'm seeing through these windows, the eyes, but I'm not the eyes. What a good way to overcome any kind of fear that we have if you know that no one can see you because you're behind the costume pulling the strings. And in a sense what's happened is that the body's kind of taken over. Everything that we invest our energy in, whether it be our businesses, our family, even this body. This body is only a temple that I use, and it's the soul that's using it. When I actually get my identity wrong, I tend to make myself a peaceless soul rather than being a peaceful soul. So that's the first introduction, that the body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, oxygen and ether. And none of those 5 have the ability to think or judge. They are just part of this physical body and this material world. And we are souls, which is the being part of the human being. So we're being whilst we're in this human body, and we're actually playing our role through these sense organs. Once your whole world is invested in which is what takes over part of the way through life, very quickly in life, actually, that the I of the self becomes very, creates an identification with my toys, my games, my colour, my cowboy suits that I wear, whereas the female gets the nurse's little outfit given to her, and I get blue things, and the female gets pink things. And once we start to invest in my identity, the identity that I take on board, which is a temporary support, really. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking support of a temporary support, but it's when the mind actually becomes so obsessed with the ownership of it that you no longer feel that, the money comes, the money goes, and all of a sudden you feel that this is my money. And of course there's this ownership thing which John Lennon in many of his songs were very much against. This imagine if there's no religion, imagine if there's no heaven and hell, that you're just a peaceful being with a world family around you. And that's the reality, is that every soul that's in a body is part of my extended family. And so obviously the surname of the body, the place where the body was born, the culture, all makes me very limited in my tolerance, limited in my patience and limited in my ability to adjust to other actors playing their roles. You know, like Shakespeare once said, we all have our entrances and our exits. These are just costumes that we wear on the world stage, and we are actually playing a role. And I suppose if you were to take it a stage further, you would say that we're playing a game. And this is the game that's going on, the game of drama. Obviously, we're already eternal beings in bodies, so even if the bodies do die, you know, the soul doesn't die with them. I, the soul, will leave this body. I've taken this body, I've used this body throughout so many years. There comes a time, like everything, when the time of matter runs out. It goes from new to old, and really in one sense we're just passing through. We are eternal beings playing very mortal roles, which we tend to think of as the be-all and end-all, and life or death. It's like when someone says, what do you do for a living? And the correct answer would be, I live. Basically, that's what I do for a living. I live. I live in this body until this body's time runs out. And I can't actually work towards saving the world, you know, from this despairing nosedive that it's in at the present time, unless I start to save my own peace of mind. And so what you're really learning to do in the first lesson is you're learning to step back, to observe, to be the witness, not so that you do nothing, but so that your energies start to work for you rather than against you. So you're not actually trying to make, force people to change, force things to happen, force change to take place. You're actually delivering an energy which is a very peaceful, powerful energy, because it's what the soul is. The soul itself as a point of light is peace itself. So you're not actually searching for peace, neither are you trying to create peace of mind, because the mind is very much attached to everything that the identity is or is assumed to be, as in your house, your family, your children, your food, your money, even the body. So in the sense of the soul is the creator, it's the creator of energy, which is where the word Brahmin or Brahma comes in. So the Brahma Kumaris, because the word Brahma means the creator. So you're setting back, you're creating something you already have as a reality, which is peace. How you enjoy to be is your true nature. The true nature is peace. If peacelessness makes you feel peaceless, then you will feel uncomfortable being peaceless. It won't do any good whatsoever being peaceless, because basically no one's listening anymore. They don't listen to peaceless people. They just want to get them out of the way so that they can have a peaceful life. And everyone is in it for peace, basically. So when I tried to get peace of mind, and my mind's attached to many other things around me, and I step back and I observe, and that includes the mind, then I can experience this wave of inner peace. And the more your identity is realised, that of being the soul, so that peace starts to become first like a little puddle of peace. Then it becomes like a little river, and then it becomes a feeling of it's flowing from inside to out. So rather than trying to get peace from outside in this world where it's becoming a very peaceless place, you're not really trying to live outside to in, because we've already done that. We're practicing living inside to out so that peace starts to heal the body, starts to flow from here throughout the mortal coil, the physical body, and it starts to heal the organs, protect the immune system, the effect of pure vibrations, pure energy on water, and the body's made up of 70-80% water. So it's kind of like you're the healer, really. The body needs plenty of healing. The material world that we live in needs healing. People's minds need a little bit of peace, a little touching of peace. So when I'm spreading this wave of peace from here throughout the physical body, it doesn't stop at these four walls. It goes through, and I don't know where it touches. That's not really my interest. My interest in just putting it out there so that the vibrations are being soaked up. That's why they say you could cut the atmosphere with a knife, because it's become so heavy with certain vibrations. And the Atma, the soul, the Atma, is as powerful as the atom, really. It's got that kind of energy in it, and it kind of can become like a bomb of peace if you're experiencing yourself as you truly are without any kind of interference. Obviously things will pull the mind, and it's like the nursery rhyme, isn't it? Leave it alone and it'll come home wagging its tail behind it, just like a child, really, because the mind's like a child. It just goes to do its own thing, and you watch it and wait like a parent would. Eventually she doesn't run around the room after, she just allows the child to exercise itself, get something out of it, a bee out of its bonnet or whatever, and then it comes running back to mummy. So it's the same with the mind as well, is that when you're actually set back in a peaceful state of being, delivering peace throughout the physical body, your eyes become more peaceful. You may even fall asleep if the mind's very peaceless. It's quite possible that the first taste of peace you have for a long time will make you feel very tired and sleepy. And the basic reason why people need so much sleep is because the soul becomes very tired of the use of its sense organs, and what a drain they all are. These five senses, the eyes, nose, mouth, ears and touch, all the five senses of the physical body, which can be so draining. And then of course you've got all the different questions that go through the mind. Why is this happening? Why me? When is this going to change? What if this happens? So you're ignoring all the question marks because they're crooked, and the soul is like a very tiny, very healthy dot of peace that you're becoming more and more aware of. So although the physical organs are organs of the body, the eyes, nose, mouth, ears and touch, and there's the five elements of the body: earth, water, fire, oxygen and ether. But we're separate to all of those as a being playing the role through the human. And the sense organs of the soul are the mind and intellect. So the mind and intellect are very attached to this material world because of our identity of the I of the body and the my of the possessions. The soul is very attached to its sense organs of the body. And so when you actually have all these, that's where all your energy is. It's all in the world outside, and you're the soul inside that's now taking its energy back again, and that energy will be used in a more productive way to actually have, whether you say pure thoughts, positive thoughts, or whether you talk about thoughts of a stronger awareness of your true identity. It's all the energy being taken back from the world outside. And the world outside will get your energy, but at least you'll get, the energy that you should have for your sense of well-being. So the mind and intellect are the sense organs of the soul, and because of certain actions that we've created, we are creatures of habits, basically, where we have these things that lie dormant in the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is connected with the thought, the mind and the intellect, and the subconscious mind is connected to what we call our sanskars or personality traits. And our personality is habitually based. So we're creatures of habits, so that we've moulded a certain personality through our responses to things, reactions to things, the way we've interacted. It's seen that very few people have got any time to listen to anyone any longer because they've got so much to say themselves. So you're actually taking control of your role by starting to live as a soul from inside to out. So if someone doesn't listen, you know that they're not listening. So, would a good businessman carry on putting energy into something that is like flogging a dead horse, as they say, or trying to get blood out of a stone, as they say? It's not going to happen. People will change when they're meant to change. I can only change myself. And the example, if it's seen, if people see it, they can't help but see examples around us of the way people's codes of conduct are and their behaviour is. So if my own example is something that they see, then that will influence them. So I'm not actually saying the way you should be and the way you shouldn't be. I'm actually enjoying being that myself. And obviously if you enjoy being something, then there's no problem continuing it. But as you know, many people, not worth going into too much, tell people how they should live, but don't necessarily live a very moral existence themselves. So all that really matters is you're getting to know yourself, and that self that you're getting to know is your true self. So we have these sanskars, and sanskars are residues of past actions, basically, latencies, tendencies that we've acted upon in the past, and they've moulded a certain personality. So someone may look like they're a very angry person, but in reality they wish they weren't so angry. They wish that anger didn't bother them so much. And really, if that was our true nature, then surely we'd rather chew on that anger ourselves and keep it inside. But people don't normally. They normally want to give it away. Maybe they're trying to get rid of it, huh? So the anger is not a true nature. It's the opposite of love. Our true nature is we love to be loved and we love to love. When it becomes selective, it's something else, but that's our true nature. everything that is good about you is your true nature, your peace, your love, your happiness. But because that's based on external medium, someone can then make me unhappy because certain things make me happy. Someone can make me not feel like loving them when they don't love me. I shouldn't really be saying I love you, I should just be saying I love. You know, I love sweets, I love chocolate, I love, but instead it should be just I love. The way love manifests is on different things for different reasons according to different tastes. One will love savoury, one will love sweets, but the point is it's the soul that loves. When it communicates through the physical body in a sensory state, a sensual state, sense organs based, then it says, I describe the thing that I love. But in reality, I love is good enough. I am peace, which is Om. I am, the I am. We shouldn't really have to say Om Shanti. We should just be able to say Om. But because the self needs re-educating of where peace is, we say Om Shanti. I am a peaceful soul. So we give the description, which is the same really as when we say I love this person, I love that person. It's normally because of a reason. And there's a song that comes to mind, love me for a reason, let the reason be love. And so that's the only reason you need to love, for the sake of love. And if you do everything in love, then you're beginning to live as a soul. When you react to someone, you know, it's normally based on sanskars, so there might be irritation, there might be admonishing, there might be ignoring, there might be condescending, looking down on others, because this is all the acquired second nature that the soul has actually acquired, because it's a false nature, but it's an acquired second nature, which means we've acquired a nature which is unhealthy for our own state of the feel-good factor being in abundance. And so your original nature is you really just need to have more faith that you are a peaceful soul, that you are love, that you are joy, and then that faith starts to work for you. Faith is a very powerful form. We have these sanskars of negativity based on things of the outside world made us peaceless. We didn't like it, we complained, we maybe became quite angry, maybe even violent. Who knows what level that can accentuate itself to. But in reality, you will always be underneath a peaceful soul caught up in a peaceless role, in a peaceless world. So I'm going to finish this now, because that's the introduction to the first lesson, is that we're all souls, atmas, points of energy, peaceful beings, playing roles through matter. When you're caught up in the material existence, you will become peaceless. Nothing to worry about that. It's a habit to get caught up in something peaceless. Forgive yourself, move on, step back, and be the peaceful soul again. Put a full stop, not a question mark. Say dot, don't say what. So we'll do some meditation to finish off with. Put some music on, just for background, and this will conclude our first introductory to the course. So relax the physical body, letting go of all the tension of the physical body, so that the muscles are all soft and peaceful. Breathing in a warm glow of peace, and exhaling any peacelessness stored within the mind and the body. Putting a full stop on the past. As I say, everything that's happened was just a dream. Being aware that the present is all there is. This moment, becoming aware that you're only dealing with a moment in time, and you just have to decorate that moment, the now, with peace, with the light of your own being. I step back, I withdraw into the centre of the forehead, which is the throne of I, the eternal being that has taken this body on loan to play my role. But I am here in a place of safety and security, focused on the centre of the forehead. I can hear the sounds of the outside world, but I am light, eternal, infinitesimal, subtle light. I go inside, I step through the doorway at the point of light and enter a world of peace where there is so much space, and all that space is filled with peace. I have left what I thought I was and what I thought others were far behind me, and I open a new page of being light, remaining light. I can see myself no longer reacting, but acting under the influence of my own beautiful, sparkling inner state of peace. Om Shanti.